Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So I mentioned in the recap video yesterday that I wasn't really feeling too good, and funny enough, after I posted that video, like 15 minutes after, I fell asleep and I missed all the 4 o'clock games, obviously the night game as well. So when I woke up this morning and I checked all the scores and saw that the Bears won, the Bears beat the Seattle Seahawks, I was pumped up and I was thinking to myself, you know what, I want to dive in and do a little draft update video. So with that being said, let's jump in. So if you look at the current draft order, Jacksonville's sitting there right now with the first overall pick, and oddly enough, they kind of control their own future because if they lose out, that number 1 pick is theirs. Okay, so all they have to do is lose both games and they get the first overall pick, unless something crazy happens where they go maybe 1-1 and Detroit loses out, then all of a sudden Detroit takes that lead. Or if Jacksonville wins out and Houston loses out, then strength of schedule comes into play. But right now, if the season were to end today, it's Jacksonville at 1, Detroit at 2, sitting there at 2-12-1. At 3, it's the Houston Texans. They actually upset the LA Chargers yesterday. Crazy win. Davis Mills was electric. Okay, I have to give credit to the Texans offensive staff. I have to give credit to Davis Mills. That was, personally, I did not see that coming. And Mills, over the past couple of weeks, has been playing some really good football. It's interesting to think about what the Texans are planning to do at the quarterback position, because if Mills continues to grow and improve, he could be a guy that the organization wants to build around. But Deshaun Watson's still on the roster. There's obviously been a lot of chatter surrounding Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong, maybe even a Malik Willis or something like that. So I'm definitely excited to see how it all plays out. But the Texans are sitting there right now with that 3rd pick at 4-11. Right behind them are the New York Jets at 4-11. Okay, much like the Texans, but Houston, on the other hand, has the easier strength of schedule. That's why they're slated in as that 3rd overall pick, where the Jets are bumped down to the 4th pick. Now, for the Jets fans out there, we gotta hope that the Jags, the Lions, and specifically the Texans win a game, win a couple games down the stretch. That would be amazing. Okay, now I really want to hone in on Houston for a second because they play the 49ers and then the Tennessee Titans these next 2 weeks, but the Texans have shown, hey, they can compete. So if the Texans could just go 1-1 over these next 2 games, the Jets could possibly have a shot at that 3rd overall pick. Now, of course, we have to take a look at who the Jets are playing. We got the Buccaneers this Sunday in MetLife Stadium, and then after that, we got the Bills in Buffalo. So 2 playoff teams, really difficult stretch. Of course, we have to factor in the virus and the injuries. I mean, just a completely decimated team this past yesterday against the Jaguars. So it's too tough to say who's exactly going to be there for this Jets team. But the point is, I think the 1st pick and the 2nd pick are too much of a pipe dream at this point, but that 3rd pick is definitely realistic. At pick 5, we have the Giants at 4-11. At 6, we have the Jets at 5-10. At 7, Carolina 5-10. At 8, we have the Giants again, originally owned by the Chicago Bears. 9, we have Washington, and then 10, Atlanta Falcons. If you want to look at all of the Jets draft picks, we have the 4th pick, the 6th pick, the 35th pick, which is round 2, 38th round 2. Remember, we have that Panthers pick because of the whole Sam Darnold trade. 69, 109, 115, 144, 156. Okay, I mean, those are some really good numbers. Now, of course, the Jets don't have any 6th round picks or 7th round picks, but man, those are some awesome places to be in as far as the draft is concerned. Now, there is a team that I wanted to talk more about, and that's the Carolina Panthers here, because I feel like right now the 2nd round is almost being overlooked, and I get it, the 1st round is really exciting, the 2 top 10 picks, that's awesome, but the 2nd round is extremely important. And much like the 1st round, it's looking like the Jets are going to have 2 really high picks here. Now, we look at the Carolina Panthers right now. They're in a state of turmoil. They recently fired their OC Joe Brady. They have a quarterback question mark. PJ Walker, Cam Newton, Sam Darnold. I mean, none of those guys have really separated themselves from the pack. You don't really know what's going to be happening there. 5-game losing streak. Okay, they played the Saints this weekend and then the Buccaneers the weekend after that. So I could definitely see the Panthers finishing on a 7-game losing streak, potentially bumping up the Jets' 2nd round pick. So for the Jets fans out there, this is who we have to be rooting for over these next 2 weeks. The Jaguars, the Lions, the Texans. Those Texans games are going to be huge. The Giants game this weekend is interesting, okay, because really it's a win-win for the Jets. Let's just say the Bears win. That helps the Jets second first round pick, originally owned by the Seahawks, because it creates clearance. It creates a little bit more of a buffer between the Seahawks pick and that the second Giants pick. And I know it sounds confusing. And last but not least, we need the Carolina Panthers to lose these final 2 games. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if Detroit can beat Seattle this weekend, it would be monumental for draft position. It would be crazy. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Where do you kind of stand with all this draft news? Who do you want the Jets to pick? I know we're so far out. We're, pre-combine, pre-Senior Bowl, pre-pro days, pre-free agency. I mean, a lot of these, it's really going to be insane. And I talked about this in yesterday's recap video against the Jaguars. The Jets right now, we're in such a good position because it's like you're going to your favorite restaurant. You can order 15 things and you're going to be satisfied no matter what you get. The Jets can go interior offensive line, tackle, wide receiver, linebacker, pass rusher, safety. We could go in a multitude of different directions, and the Jets would walk away with an instant day 1 starter. A guy arguably one of the best players on the team. That's how depleted we are. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.